For cars, Supple's Building and Remodeling, 1-800-800-ROSE and Hawkeye Courier. The Midtown Family Restaurants, Harty and Stocker Jewelers, Diamond Dream Sports Academy, Senior Benefits, Premier Automotive, the Ox Yoke Inn in the Amanas, Streets Maintenance, Dr. Lance Forbes and Diamond Dental in Cedar Rapids, and Big Dog Tech Solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, a little late, but here we are. It's Pat Harty and Tom Suter. Hi, Tom.
Well, Mr. Hunter, how are you?
I'm doing okay. Got a good night's rest.
You look well rested.
I feel good.
Look good.
Well, as best as I can. But yes, thank you for the compliment.
Yes.
And looking pretty good for today.
Well, the important thing, I think we all can agree on,
is
the Cubs are ahead by 5 full games over the stinking Cardinals.
Yeah, ain't that something? Got one of the. I think now they have the best record in the National League. So
who would have thunk it?
Yeah,
not me.
Not me either.
They'll ride it high as long as we can, right?
Hey, I never would have guessed in 1,000 years they'd be 5 games ahead at this point.
How many over 500 are they?
I think 12 or 13.
Yeah, anyway. Like, do they have, 20?
Well, I can tell you right now, real quick.
I always print off the...
I mean, if they stay 10...
They are 16 games over 500.
I mean, if they stay 10 above 500, they're going to win that division.
They're 38 and 22 right now.
I'll tell you, Craig Counsell, I can see why they hired him.
Mm-hmm.
He's done a good job, and I'm not worried about them going into a huge swoon because I just don't think there's that many great teams in baseball right now.
Well, there aren't.
Now, injuries, of course, can determine it, but I still wouldn't like the Cubs' chances against the Dodgers in a series.
No. And I was when Justin Steele went down, I thought this ain't good, but they've seemed to prop themselves up, and between their starting.
I'm surprised at how good their middle relief has been. They've just had everything clicking right now.
Yep.
Justin Steele's a great baseball name,
isn't it? Though,
especially on a day when didn't we just put 50% tariffs on steel and aluminum?
Yep.
Started today.
There you go.
Do you have a bunch of aluminum that you've been shipping purchasing?
Stealing from job sites?
Yeah. You're hoarding. I hope that whole garage of yours is just full of pieces of siding that have blown into your yard, stray pop cans.
That'd be a rough way to earn a living, wouldn't it? Stealing aluminum.
Yeah. We had a story about a guy up at the new hospital that stole medical equipment that was like real specialized equipment that could only be certified by a specialist to use. And he had the
So where's he going to go sell that for profit?
eBay.
Oh, but aren't you going to get caught?
Well, he did.
I know, but aren't you going to get caught even before you try to do that?
Wouldn't you think? Yeah,
you would think so.
Or just from doing that, you would get caught. I understand that he got caught, but I don't think there's any way he wouldn't have gotten caught.
No, and it's just so. I don't know why people think they can get by with.
Well, doesn't putting it on eBay make your chances of getting caught even higher?
100%.
That's what I meant.
He had great reviews on his selling, though. It's like a 4 or 5 star review as an eBay seller. So I don't know. That's just crazy.
And then we got much needed rain, but it did not turn out to be anything like. It was not get underneath. At least for us, it wasn't.
No, it was just nice, steady,
we got
long rain.
Almost an inch.
I would say
but not as much as I thought. Like when I talked to you on the phone, we didn't get much after that.
No, we didn't.
We really didn't. But we'd had enough by then.
Because we had a soaker out here mid-morning, and then another one after.
It rained really hard at my house for about 5 minutes yesterday, but then other than that, it was just a nice, steady.
Yeah.
Now I got to have it dry so I can mow the yard. I mean, the grass.
It's a balancing act, isn't it?
Well, the grass is really long.
Yes.
And I'm sure I'm going to be hearing myself and my neighbors. Once it's too wet right now, you'll clog up your. But do we have rain coming today?
No.
Okay.
Just
I'm hoping by late afternoon it'll be dry enough.
If not tomorrow for sure, it'll be sunny, high around 80 tomorrow.
Because I don't want it to get any taller, because then it makes it harder to mow.
Yeah. Boy, that corn's shooting up fast.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
But no, we needed that yesterday. That was good.
For sure. And I had to, do 30 bags of mulch before we went to Vegas, and boy, man, that's all saturated now. That's great.
Yeah. Boy, whenever you buy mulch, I always found that if you thought you needed 4 bags, just pick up 8 because that's how many you're going to need.
Well, how many? I'm getting that many this weekend. 8 bags of mulch. What is a mulch? Like $5 a bag? 4 or 5.
I think Hy-Vee was $4 a bag.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is just hauling it, carrying it.
It is, and It's heavy.
I'm going to try to do that this
Sure
weekend.
makes a difference, though, in your lawn. Makes it look good.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have no track and field this weekend, right? It's next weekend.
That's
Iowa
correct.
track and field.
I believe that is
So we've
correct.
got nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing Hawkeye. And then I watched a little bit. Did Lucy play much yesterday?
She didn't play at all.
No.
Is she hurt?
I don't think so.
Just didn't get in.
Yeah.
I find that odd because wasn't she playing?
She was playing 10 minutes a game.
Wow, I thought she was even playing more. Yeah, I kept waiting for them to put her in, and they never put her in. And it was just, I thought that was kind of odd because the previous game I'd watched, she was in the first quarter.
Yeah, I know. So I think maybe they're still trying to figure out their rotations and stuff.
Yeah.
And, the gal that the Fever got
Area McDonald.
was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
And she'll allow Caitlin to play off the ball some at shooting guard and maybe get some shots and what have you. But no, they needed that win just to show that they can win without Caitlin.
Yeah, because they kept
They're 3-4
getting
now.
close, and then they'd fall back, and by halftime they were down again, and then they just roared in the third quarter, and then held on to it in the fourth, and won pretty handily. It was fun to watch.
It was fun watching Caitlin and Sophie on the sidelines. They're kind of two peas in a pod.
Yeah.
Who's the team that's undefeated? Who are the Lynx? What city is that?
Minneapolis.
Yeah, they're undefeated.
Minnesota, yeah.
Did they win it last year?
No, Liberty.
Okay. And the Liberty has like one loss.
And
right?
the Lynx were runner-up last year.
I mean, the Liberty already have beaten the Fever with Caitlin, right?
But it was close.
I mean, it's close, but they still beat them.
Yes.
So I didn't really. Yeah, I forgot Minnesota. That's with Nafisha Collier.
Yes.
Collier. Okay.
Yes.
So let me see.
And she was injured. I imagine she's back by now, but yeah, they're good.
Yeah, the Fever played the Sky on Saturday night, and you're going to have Paramount Plus for that.
Is that where it's on?
That's where it's.
Oh my God! I had the biggest nightmare yesterday.
Hey, wait just a second. We'll discuss it on the air.
Okay.
I'm talking with Andy Garman from Wickstead, and he's trying to arrange some Iowa football interviews. Here's what he. Also, I can't get Lester on a radio day, but I could get him to call in on Tuesday, June 24th. Could we do a show on that day?
Probably.
If not, they're going to want me to call. They're going to want me to have him call me, tape it, and then bring it in like we did with Betts. And Captain didn't like that.
No, June 24th. So we'll do a Tuesday instead of a
Monday,
Monday,
or do a Tuesday
Wednesday?
instead of a Wednesday.
I don't see why not. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't have a problem, do you, Jim?
I don't have any problem at all.
And I don't think Steve will care, and I don't think, unless Tommy has big plans for Tuesday, June 24th, I would see no reason why we couldn't.
I think we
On June
would.
24th, we have an 8 a.m. interview with Track Fest, and that is it.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
that's
So.
on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay,
We could
perfect.
certainly do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
by the way, I gave Andy Garman your number, Pat. He wanted to get a hold of you.
Yeah,
I guess it was for that.
yeah. I've been going back and forth with him.
He said he had like 3 numbers for you, and none of them was the right one.
That's weird. I don't
Well,
know.
he got a hold of you.
Yes.
By God,
Does
that's
have,
what counts.
have your old desk at the Press Citizen number or something?
Well, I don't know. That's weird. I've had the same landline number ever since I've been up here.
Yeah, no, you have.
I've had the same cell phone number for a long time. But let me just send him this text. He's
So
trying.
yeah, go ahead. But yeah, okay, then I'll talk to you about my nightmare last night. Okay.
Yeah, please do.
Everything was fine. Had a nice meal from Kraken's. We started watching the 4th season of Hacks, which is on HBO Max. Okay.
That's 4 seasons already?
Yeah. So we've watched the first two nights ago, and we were going to watch 2 last night.
Uh-huh.
So click on Max, Circle of Death, the opening page, and it says blank. You have to hook up with your provider.
Oh, no.
So had to probably took me 15 minutes. Click back in. Looking good. You have to hook up with your provider. So did that 3 times. And then finally Ann came in and said, I'll help. So she got her phone. You know, that's one of the ways they say
Sure.
you have to check in,
Yeah.
get a special 6-digit code.
Yeah.
So we did that. You have to hook up with your provider.
Ugh.
It took us 45 minutes, and we never got in
What were you trying to do?
to watch HBO Max. And I
you
think
have-
it was the storm related.
It could
Oh.
be. And you have a subscription.
Yes. But we couldn't. we couldn't tie into Max because somehow Max and our provider weren't communicating, and we had no way to. It just didn't work. And then I went downstairs to see if it worked downstairs. No,
Demand a refund.
but instead, what I did was I just out of wild blue checked on Amazon, and Hacks was there as a checkout Max. If you're a subscriber, click here.
Wow, okay.
And we were able to get on through Amazon.
Oh, we are going to have Lester on the 24th. We're going to have a special Tuesday show. I mean, we're making a major concession for the offensive coordinator.
Awesome.
We are.
That's how happy we were with the improvement from last year.
Yes, we were.
But yeah, we're going to have him on sometime between 9 and 11 on the 24th. I'm guessing Captain's going to say, we'll just do an extra show. We'll just Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
Nothing, very little Hawkeye stuff to talk about.
This shows you though how detailed they are about their schedule.
Well, sure, and they're busy.
Yeah.
And I would rather.
It's hard to get Iowa people on, especially coaches,
In the
between
morning.
9 and 11
Yes,
in the morning.
it is.
It just is.
Hey, we got a call. Hello.
Okay.
Hey, morning, guys.
Hey.
Hey, last night there was video of Caitlin and Lucy hugging before the game.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Lucy was just a healthy scratch, but she didn't even show up when it came to the the box score.
No, she didn't get
She didn't
in.
get in the game, so that's why she didn't show up in the box score.
No, I understand that, but I mean, usually if you're a healthy scratch, they'll show you at least
Zero,
being
zero,
on the
zero,
bench.
zero, zero.
Oh,
They didn't
yeah.
even show that in the box score.
Yeah, I don't know. She was dressed. I mean, she was in uniform.
She was.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It showed her on the website, on Washington's website. It showed her, as being a part of the roster, but she never did get in. So
No, and
Anyway.
I mean, there's no guarantee that you get in, of course, but no, she's definitely part of the roster, and maybe she had a little nagging injury last night. Who knows?
And they never said
and the
anything
other
on
thing,
TV.
too, you guys were talking about the Cubs. I take a little umbrage with the fact that you think the Dodgers could do damage to the Cubs. We took the season series from the Dodgers.
Yeah, I know, but
I know, and it would have been better if we hadn't lost a few games out in Japan.
Yeah.
The team
But-
I'm scared of is the Mets. The Mets have a lot more going for them right now than the Dodgers.
They're the dog-ass Mets, so come on.
They
no,
are.
I would say the same thing about
that's funny, Mr. Suter, because people don't understand, unless they're our age, why we dislike the Mets so much. It's because we used to have to play them because they were in our division all the time. So we'd be playing them, 15, 16 games a year.
Seemed like we played them all
And
the
you
time.
just developed a dislike for them. Now my dislike is the Cardinals. But we got
For
5
sure.
games up on them, so
Well,
it's
but-
a good deal.
Yeah, but 1969, between the Cubs swooning and the Mets winning, I think 29 of their last 40 games, they took the pennant from the Cubs in the East. The year that everybody thought they were going to the World Series that year, and they just collapsed.
Yeah, it sure did.
Yeah, so
Which is amazing when you look at the talent that was on that team
Oh,
with
yeah.
Williams and Ron Santo and everybody else that was on that team. It's amazing
Yeah,
they
they
collapsed
did-
like they did.
they just never got a day off, and they played day baseball in the heat, and they ran out of gas. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. Yeah, right now, if you haven't gotten a chance to see Pete Crow Armstrong, man, that guy is just excitement. He's fast. He can steal bases. He makes catches in the outfield like no other. I mean, yeah, I think right now he's one of the most exciting players. I am a little biased because I'm a Cubs fan, but
Yep, and
I
he's
think
going
one
to
of the
be,
most exciting players to watch.
and look for him to be on the trading block next year immediately.
Stop that.
Sorry.
They've nicknamed him PC MVP. All right.
Hey, one more thing, Mr. Suter, while I got you. Did you go to any of the name kind of restaurants when you were in Vegas? Like the celebrity chefs at all, or did you just stick to mainly the hotel stuff?
Well, I mean, mainly the hotel stuff. There's celebrity chefs all over the place. Do we consider Guy Fieri a celebrity chef?
Yeah, I'd say
I
so.
think so.
Well, we went to one of his places, and it kind of sucked.
What was it called?
Guy Fieri's
Doesn't he have Johnny Garlic?
Flavor World or something like that. It just wasn't very good.
What'd you get?
Got a chicken sandwich with stuff on it. It wasn't very good.
Really?
I went to Bobby Flay's Burger Place, and that was
The one in
incredibly
Paris?
disappointing.
The one in Paris?
Yeah, I believe that's where it was. But it was so disappointing. It was high priced. It was, it was more expensive than Five Guys, and it wasn't nearly as good. So,
well, this Guy Fieri's thing, I think it's the most expensive hamburger I've ever seen. And I've been all over the world, kind of. And it was $38.50.
Jeez.
my goodness.
For just the hamburger?
Well, and some potatoes.
Did that come with a
$38.50.
massage besides, taking the money out of your wallet?
I mean, what are you going
Man,
to
that's
do with the
amazing.
hamburger to make it worth?
And then did it have a thing on the
$40.
receipt where you were supposed to tip, too?
Oh, of course.
Did it start at like 22%?
Oh, yes, it did.
I like the ones that start at like 22%. Hey, where's 15?
Yeah, it is nowhere to be seen.
And a lot of that is
Crazy.
stuff you just get at the counter. I mean, to me, tipping is when somebody waits on your table.
I agree.
get it that you tip. Like every time I go to Panera, I feel guilty if I don't tip at least $1 on a nearly
Yeah.
$9 bowl of soup.
And I get it, and I do try to, even when they're really not waiting on you at a
I
table.
do. I never don't
leave
tip.
something.
I never. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I leave at least a 15% tip because I'm embarrassed not to. Subway the other day, I went there. They made my $7 sandwich, and I left them a 15% tip because they're, it's right there asking you.
Yeah.
Well,
and
anyway, thanks for taking my call. Like always, guys, it's always good talking to you. Have a great day, and go Hawks.
where are you?
Just north of Kansas City. They had some really wicked weather down this way last night.
I
and
saw that.
Their 435 was closed because there was a semi that was blown over and landed on top of a truck and another car.
Ooh.
So the winds and the tornado that came through down there was just amazing. I'm lucky because I have 80,000 pounds on my back, and a little tornado wind isn't going to move me, and it's going to push me around, but it's not going to tip me. But man, if you were empty yesterday, Kansas City was not the place to be.
Ooh, boy, that's scary. Well, you stay safe there, buddy.
Always. Good talking to you, Mr. Suter. You guys have a great day.
All
Thanks
right.
a lot. See ya.
No, we got lucky again weather-wise.
Yeah.
I mean,
We sure
we
did.
dodged all the serious stuff and basically just got much-needed rain.
Yeah.
And most of it was steady. It wasn't, like I
Perfect.
said,
It
there was
was
about 5 or 10 minutes. I'm like, wow, it's really coming down. Then it just ended.
Yep. Hello.
Joni Ernst loves Five Guys, or even 7.
Who does?
I think he said Joni Ernst.
Joni
That's what I
Ernst.
thought.
Yeah.
He said.
What'd she say now?
Oh, it's just reputation.
Well, no, she's the one who said we're all going to die, but
Yeah.
this just made it sound like she likes.
Well, she isn't wrong. I mean, if you take that statement.
No, I
as-
know, I'm with you, but then what does he mean,
He's-
implying that she likes 5 guys and maybe 7?
She was. The rumor is that she was, let's say,
Promiscuous.
promiscuous.
Oh.
While, even while married. So.
Wow.
And boy, that's good luck there.
Yeah. But boy, that double down video shot in the cemetery. That's the.
I saw that was a little creepy.
Yeah,
It was
just
like-
terrible.
She's creepy.
Yeah.
Yes, that was. I'm like, I'm not sure that's the right way to respond to this, but what the
To
hell?
double down on this one, yeah.
What the
maybe
hell
not.
do I know?
Yeah, I don't know.
But no, we're so fortunate weather-wise, and now I think we're fine rain-wise. I mean, it went from me needing rain to no. I think we're good now, aren't we?
I think so. And I saw a picture. Was it Wichita, Kansas?
Yes.
Or the downtown
They
Main
showed
Street.
a lady getting
Yeah.
pulled out of a car in like 6 feet of water on a residential street.
Yeah.
Some creek just.
Just crazy.
It is nuts. See, I've never. But you remember the radio guy Larry Kotler?
Yeah.
That's what he passed. He remember he died in a flash flood in in a neighborhood in Des Moines,
That's
right where I used to play. I mean, I know right where the water just swept him away.
I forgot about that.
And one of the strangest things, that was such a tragic. He was such a good guy, just always in a good mood, always upbeat. I like Larry.
Yeah,
Did you
that's-
know him very well?
No, I had met him, but
But yeah, that was very tragic. But I saw that video yesterday. They showed these cops pulling this lady out of her driver window, and she was elderly, and and the water was just rushing. It was literally five feet deep. It was going into the car window. It was incredible. And they said that had happened in like an hour.
it doesn't take long when that stuff starts happening. And well, we've seen it firsthand.
Yeah.
Well, especially if you're in a low-lying area too. Yeah.
Especially.
Yeah. So yeah, no. I mean, just thoughts and prayers to Did we have any really bad stuff in Iowa, like any major tornadoes or anything like that?
Not that I've seen.
Okay. There was sure some fun. When I walked into Hy-Vee last night, there were some funky clouds.
Yeah.
But most of them were to the south of us. And
Yeah.
you could hear the thunder in the distance, but like I said, we just never really saw the wind or the hail that we were supposed to.
No,
we didn't get any hail, did we?
I don't think so. It was.
Well, I don't think they even closed the landfill yesterday.
No, they didn't.
Because of wind.
Yeah.
No.
No, it was great. I love long, heavy, steady rains like that.
Well, I like them too when we need them too,
And we needed one.
And now I don't have to water stuff for it. That's just one thing I can check off the list. The plants are fine for a while.
Yep.
Well, we were already in moderate or low drought conditions. We should be completely drought-free at this point. Hello?
Yeah, they got hit pretty hard in Fort Madison last night.
Oh,
They did.
2 miles west of town, freight train cars got blown over.
Wow.
Ooh, okay. Hopefully nobody was hurt.
No, not that I saw. I was checking it out on Facebook.
Okay, so yeah,
Of course,
south. It's
Fort Madison is about as far south as you get in Iowa. So,
and everything
that would
looked
make sense.
and everything did
right
look
on the
worse
river.
south. Okay, thank you for the update.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Bye.
And everything did look worse looking south.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Yeah.
dark and just some of the clouds were some of the weirdest shapes.
They had tornado sirens going off in the Quad Cities last night.
Yeah, I never heard any in our neighborhood.
I don't think they got an actual tornado, but
And we've got that one 2 blocks from
my.
my house. It's right in front of the Casey's there on
Yeah.
the corner of Scott and.
Yeah, you would have heard
Court.
it.
Oh yeah, I definitely hear it.
Yeah,
I definitely hear that thing. It's my dogs used to when I had they used to
God.
howl to it.
got
Oh, our
dogs.
animals hate it.
I got dogs upstairs when I'm right by the fire station, so when when the fire trucks go by, they're howling. It's great.
I don't know. They would howl. Yeah, they both would howl, and sometimes they'd play off each other. Now, what they didn't howl to was the sound of the fire, the smoke detector,
detector.
batteries
They
going
didn't
out.
howl?
No, the thing when the smoke when it makes that little ping sound,
Yes.
they would go and quiver and hide in the
Oh,
corner. It
Wopsy
drove them
hates,
crazy.
hates that
Yeah.
more than anything.
Yeah, no, they.
Well, I'm not a fan either.
No, nobody likes that. That's why there were times when I would travel and I would make sure, especially if I didn't have anyone watching them, I'd make sure the batteries were good because I feel terrible if I came home from like Madison where I was gone for a day and for like 12 hours those 2 dogs were sitting there listening to that because that did happen one time and they were both, when I got home, they were freaked out and I couldn't figure out what it was. And then finally I started hearing the smoke. Oh, the batteries need changed. And that was just driving them nuts. Their ears and... But no, when they see the sirens and hear music, they howl.
Yeah.
And I think when they're howling, they're having fun, aren't they, sort of?
Oh, I don't think so.
To the music, I think they're having fun. I don't know about the smoke. I don't know about the tornado thing. That's them responding to a loud sound. But
Yeah,
I used
they
to
don't
play.
look happy.
I used to play certain music, and they would stand right in front of the speakers and howl. I knew certain songs would just, no matter what.
They like Break My Stride.
They never heard that one.
remember the first-
Anything that had dog barking in it. There's a Pink Floyd song that's got dog barking on the Metal album, and they would hear that, and they'd move their head back and forth. Then they'd start howling along with the dogs.
Tommy Lang, everybody.
I was coming into work when they were testing the sirens here earlier this week, or a couple weeks ago, I guess it was. No,
Where is the siren out here?
it wasn't that long ago. Anyway, a few weeks ago. And the one over here at the soccer park was going off. I was in the parking lot. The coyotes started howling.
Yeah.
I've
Oh, yeah.
never heard them howl in the daytime before, but I can hear them somewhere out here in the woods.
Uh-huh.
It was pretty freaky.
Yeah. No, I'm like I said, I used to laugh when my dogs would howl. My Lakota, who had a little coyote in him, I think, because he was born on a reservation, he used to howl at anything that had any sound like that. Any unusual, long, extended sound would cause him to howl. That's just their instincts.
I remember the first time I pulled out my harmonica and played it in front of my dogs. They just freaked out. Loudest howl I've ever heard.
Maybe it was a request and you just didn't understand what they were saying.
Possibly.
Has Wopsy ever howled? Or does she just bark?
She's a barker.
Okay. I mean, Lakota would bark too, but and Buddy would howl younger when he was younger. He didn't do it much when he got older.
I mean, our dog Andy was a howler.
Yeah, I just get a kick out of it. But as far as the Hawks, I wrote my basketball route. They started practicing they started their summer workouts on Monday.
Yep.
And I wrote that there's reason to have guarded optimism. I don't think I'd say top 25 is overly optimistic, but so was saying 31-4 last year at Drake. I mean, we'll see. I've got to wait and see, but I'm optimistic, and you're always kind of energized with something new. Not that I had any problems with Fran. You've heard me say I thought Fran, if they were going to go for another year, I think body of work, you could have definitely justified that. But of course, the fan disconnect and all there's so much other stuff.
I saw your article, and I agree pretty much. With where you're at.
Yeah, my concern is if any of those three main guys get hurt,
well, especially
Sturts, of course, but also when I was looking, those guys coming from Drake, they're not 3-point shooters.
No.
And I didn't realize just how. I mean, Cale Combs and Isaiah Howard are not. Isaiah Howard was 13 of 29 from the free throw line.
No, they need Hawson.
They need shooters.
They need Hawson to come through big. As a 3-pointer, and Cooper Koch is going to play.
But they
a
also
role.
need Cale Combs and Isaiah Howard to show that they can make. They got to get better.
Yeah, they do.
They got to get better, And I will say, Isaiah Howard is 6'5", played limited minutes, about 15 a game, but he did have 33 steals and 9 blocks. He can defend.
Yes, he can.
And he's athletic, but man, no.
Shooting is should be or could be a problem.
I mean, if you have Cale Combs and Isaiah Howard in at the same time with Sturts, but that's why Fulgaris is so valuable, though, because he made 45 threes last year. That's not a fluke. He can shoot. See, I think they're almost always going to have 2 3-point shooters on the floor, barring injuries and fouls and what have you.
When you have to.
But they really, to me, if I was listing the 5 things that need to happen, those two, Combs and Howard, because they're going to play.
Oh, sure they are.
They need to become better perimeter shooters.
Yeah.
And the other thing about Tavian Banks and Manuel, Manuel only averaged 18.8 minutes per game last year. He did all that stuff in limited playing time, and Banks only averaged 20 minutes per game. So it's going to be interesting to see how they use those two. But I think getting Fulgaris and Howson, you knew they were going to get Sturts. I mean, that was just part of it.
Yes.
I think those two are the 2 biggest additions, at least from what I'm seeing in my visions of what's going to happen on the court.
Yeah, and it's going to be. I think saw some pictures, and of course they don't usually tell you that much. But Yerok is huge.
Who?
Yerok.
Oh yeah, I mean he's a big kid. They list he's 6'11" and 265. I think.
And he is
wide. And like I said with him, I think ideally none of those 3 freshmen will play a key role next year. But Yerok might, just because of his size. That makes him unique.
Yes,
his size makes him unique. He's 6'11". And, there's a ton of 6'11". Well, there's really not a ton of 6'11" guys. There's not. And so it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. But, yeah, they need to keep Sturts, Fulgaris, and Hawson healthy, because that, to me, is the core right there that will allow them to spread the floor, which is huge. And I'm not really worried about defense, because they're going to play defense, because it's priority. It's priority.
Yes, that's right.
And it's just going to be a different mindset about defense. Not knocking Fran. Fran had a different way of coaching and playing, and hey, he's led 4 different teams to the NCAA. His way works too.
And Fran's teams were fun to
watch, and they won a lot of games.
They did.
But there are times where it seems like defense was an afterthought. That will never be the case with Ben McCollum. But there's going to be times where Ben McCollum's teams don't score as effortlessly as Fran's teams. Fran's teams, even the bad teams at times, they could score.
They could put the ball in the basket.
They weren't afraid to just go up and down. And so, but no, it's going to be a completely different.
I mean, Lisa's teams were the same way. Yeah. I mean, you were going to score, and you're going to have to figure out a way to stop us.
Oh yeah, Lisa's teams were never.
Going.
I mean, those teams with Caitlin were never that great on defense.
No.
I mean, Gabby Marshall was a great perimeter defender, 1-on-1, but overall they weren't very good defensive teams. No. And I mean, if you were going to pick apart Caitlin Clark's game, you'd start on defense.
Of course.
I mean, because there's not much to pick apart on offense. On defense, and she's getting better, but, I mean, defense, I'm not saying that's where she has to exhale, but with much as she does on offense, defense is sort of where she does do that, and she still has good length, and she's learning how to play better help defense where she can block shots. But when you have that much offensive responsibility, I don't think there's enough time to become a great defender.
Well, there isn't, but if you take a play off in the WNBA, you're going to get it.
There, and I don't think she's by far not a liability on defense. I think
she's much better.
I think she's a solid defender, and a legendary offensive player. Now, it'll be interesting to see what this time off away does to her three-point shot, because let's face it, she hasn't been. Her three-point shot has been a.
So do we imagine that a
problem? And
thigh was.
I was saying that the quad may have had something to do with that, because every time you take a shot, the first thing you do is you bend your legs.
Yes.
And if it's hurting there, that probably didn't help, because she was not. Didn't she have a stretch where she missed 12 threes in a row?
Yeah,
or something
yes,
like
she
that?
did.
Yeah, and granted, a lot of them were tough threes, but that's Caitlin's game. So maybe this will end up doing her some good, get her completely healthy, and if the team can just hang on, at least one more game without her? They said she was going to miss at least 4. She's missed 3 right now, right?
And she misses the Sky game this weekend. I just hope it's not one of those nagging, recurring injuries,
Well, that's what a quad could, not quite as bad
could.
as a hamstring, but it could be, and that's what they're being careful with. It's just crazy that none of this ever happened at Iowa. It's like a fairy tale.
Well, and she couldn't have gotten to the numbers that she did if it did happen.
Did she miss a game?
No.
She never missed a game.
Before this injury, the last game she missed that wasn't like an exhibition game was when she was a sophomore in high school.
Yeah.
I kind of recall her missing a quarter because of an ankle tweak.
She did roll her ankle in a game, but then she came back.
And then she came back.
But this one, but she's under good supervision, so we'll just kind of see where it goes.
Why don't we take a quick break?
All right, let's do that.
I was thinking it's so late already, but then I realized I got here 20 minutes late. So.
KCJJ Weather, brought to you by Plum Supply.
Plum Supply kitchens and baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
We are going to have a little more of that Canadian wildfire smoke in the air again this morning into this afternoon, but it's actually going to get better here later today, tonight, and I think we'll not be dealing with some of that smoke here by Thursday into Friday, so we are going to get a break from that. Otherwise, today, partly cloudy. We'll get to the mid-70s for a high this afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy. We'll drop to 56 for a low. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, 79. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. Current temp 62.
1-800-800-ROSE. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist is the only number you need to know to send flowers anywhere in the country or Canada from anywhere in the country. 1-800-800-ROSE. It's so easy. Just remember one number. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist. 1-800-800-ROSE. Remember.
Are you tired of living in a home that doesn't quite meet your needs? Then it's time to call the experts at Streets Maintenance. Their team of skilled professionals specializes in renovations and remodeling, transforming your home into the space you've always dreamed of. From kitchen and bath remodels to complete home renovations, no job is too big or too small. Streets Maintenance will work with you every step of the way to ensure your vision becomes a reality. So don't wait any longer. Call Streets Maintenance to schedule your consultation at 400-4483. Let's start building your dream home today.
Spectacular country club views at affordable public rates is waiting for you at Brown Deer Golf Club. This public course is both scenic and challenging for all levels of golfer. Brown Deer Pro Shop has new arrivals of golf equipment and sporty attire that you'll love. Bunker's Bar and Grill features pizza, wings, burgers, sandwiches, and more. Our banquet facility features the best views, service, and memories for your wedding or business meetings. Meet and eat with your family and friends at Brown Deer. More info at browndeergolf.org.
This is Leah Pasha, and I've been saying, hit a deer, call Premier for years. But it's time for something new. It's still where you need to go for deer divots and door dings, as well as damaged dashboards. That's what my dad Nathan's driving at and dreams about. Why not say, when your car is dinged, be a deer and call Premier. I think Dad's going to love that. Premier Automotive, North Liberty's premier auto body repair shop.
Be a deer and call Premier Auto Body in North Liberty.
There's a problem here in eastern Iowa. There's not enough Hawkeye fans. I mean, really, shouldn't everybody be a Hawkeye fan? Well, maybe not, but you should be a fan of my team at Hawkeye Title and Settlement. Hi, I'm Steve Anderson, and my team of experts at Hawkeye Title and Settlement know what they're doing. Call us at 351-8600. Hawkeye Title and Settlement, the team you love, the people you trust.
Check out the best source for your Iowa City area high school sports coverage. Go to yourprepsports.com. Hi, this is Pat Harty. City High, West High, Liberty High, Regina, West Branch, Solon, Clear Creek, Amana. Your Prep Sports has all the boys and girls high school sports you crave. You'll get free, in-depth reporting from dedicated sports journalists on your favorite teams: football, basketball, golf, volleyball, track, softball, and baseball seasons. Profiles, pictures, video, and more. Get in on the action. Go to yourprepsports.com today and spread the word.
Don't let just anyone take care of your smile. At Diamond Dental, you can expect compassion, expertise, and a personalized care plan to protect your teeth for life. With more than 30 years of combined experience, Dr. Forbes and his staff are prepared to tackle even your toughest dental problems, leaving your smile healthy and sparkling. Diamond Dental offers a full range of general and cosmetic dentistry, as well as dental treatment options for snoring and sleep apnea. It's never too early to start thinking about what's best for your smile. Schedule an appointment today by calling 319-390-3703 or visiting the office at 5815 Consul Street Northeast, Suite D1 in Cedar Rapids. You can also visit DiamondDentalPC.com for more information. Dr. Forbes is a proud sponsor of the Hawkeye Wrestling Club and the Inner Circle. Let the Diamond Dental team provide superior care for your entire family.
Don't wait for an emergency to get a backup for your car keys. Unlike the olden days, car keys have gotten extremely complex. Mike's e-keys for cars can generate the most technically advanced automotive keys that are on the market today. For spares and lost keys, Mike's e-keys for cars can produce most conventional transponder, high security, and remote head keys. Mike's e-keys for cars will keep you on the road. Call 319-330-9185 and schedule an appointment today. Don't wait until it's too late. Call 319-330-9185 today.
Get ready to boldly go where thousands have gone before. It's Trek Fest 40, June 26th through 28th in Riverside. Come enjoy tons of free activities for you and the family. This year's event will feature some of the best bands in the area on the Riverside Casino and Golf Resort sponsored main stage. This year's event will feature Dominic Keating and Connor Trenier, both of Star Trek Enterprise. For more information about this year's event, visit the TrekFest Facebook page at Riverside TrekFest or on the web at trekfest.org. Riverside isn't just where the best begins, it's also where the trek begins.
At the Oxyoke Inn, we're ready to serve you with the same fresh food, prepared to order and served with a passion that you've come to expect for over 85 years. The Oxyoke Inn is serving our famous Sunday brunch buffet with lunch, dinner, family-style banquets, and carry-out daily. Make reservations at oxyokeinn.com or call for big or small tables and private rooms. We can't wait to serve you soon at the Oxyoke Inn.
The Oxyoke Inn.
In the heart of Amana.
From the Harty and Stalker Studios, in the heart of the Hawkeye Nation, this is the mighty 1630 KCJJ, Iowa City.
Harty and Stalker Jewelers, making memories, making moments.
And we are back with the Hawkfanatic program.
Are we?
We are.
Are we better than ever?
We are back.
Okay. I'm good with that.
Good as we ever were?
Yeah.
Okay.
Same as it ever was.
Yes.
Great song.
Okay, so Talking Heads has posted on their social media 6/5/2025 and the bass line from Psycho Killer. It's the 50th anniversary of their first gig.
So that's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. So is there an announcement coming? Are they going to reunite? Is there going to be a concert?
Well, they're all still alive, aren't they?
Are they going to do an album together? Are they going to tour? I am very excited to find out what happens.
And they're not super old. They're probably in their late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah, David Byrne's like in his early 70s. So, and he's still great.
Oh, yeah, I've seen him.
Well, he is himself.
HBO did a special with him, and he had a bunch of dancers from Africa.
American Utopia on Broadway.
Yeah, it was interesting. I got a little...
Awesome.
After a while, it got a little bit too much for me at times.
He was on Saturday Night Live, and there had to have been 50 effing people on that stage. To me, it was ridiculous.
It's overkill for Saturday Night Live, for sure.
Yeah, it was.
But for a Broadway stage, perfect.
Then it would be great.
I love their music.
Yeah, me too.
They were really popular when I was in college.
And his solo stuff is awesome on top of it, too. So
yes, it is.
Not as great as Talking Heads.
I was never a big Talking Heads fan, to be honest with you.
That's okay.
He's got a salsa album that I have, and every song on it is great.
Yeah.
I mean, it is really good. So that'd be cool if they would. That would be one concert I would try to go to because I never had a chance to see them live in person.
Yeah, I tried to go to the Des Moines. He played Des Moines, the American Utopia on Broadway.
And I heard you guys playing Estimated Profit when I came in here.
Uh-huh.
I was waiting for my buddy to contact me from college. He goes, "Hey, they're actually playing a song you like," but he never got back to me. But no, that's one of my favorite Dead songs off one of my favorite Dead albums. You guys should play side B of Terrapin Station sometime.
The whole.
They'll play the whole side.
Just play Terrapin Station. Go get lunch.
You know how many bathroom runs Captain could make during that time? Have you ever listened to side 2 of Terrapin Station?
I'm sure I have. I can't think of what it is, but
starts with Lady with a. It's just basically 25 minutes of nonstop. One song morphs into the other.
Yes,
and it starts Lady with a
fan.
That you wouldn't like it. It's my favorite. That's my favorite Dead album. And that side, I just love that side. I can listen to it at all. But then on the other side, you've got really good songs too.
Yep.
But it's more of a traditional album layout with 5 singles on the other side.
Yeah.
That came out
what was on the other side? What songs?
Estimated
Profit.
Estimated Profit, Dancing in the Streets. I can't remember the other ones.
See, I like Shakedown Street.
That's one of my favorites.
That's a great one too. Lowell George produced that for me.
Yes, he did. Yes, that came out in '78.
Fire on the Mountain. And
Yep,
Good
that's my
Lovin'
favorite Dead song.
Yeah,
I mean they put out Terrapin Station. I think came out in either '77.
That was the one. It was the one before Shakedown.
Terrapin and Shakedown came out in back-to-back albums, back-to-back years, and then that's when they were on a roll. Late '70s.
Yep.
Because by then they'd already been together for almost 20 years. 15 years.
Yeah, the albums I liked were Working Man's Dead.
Working Man's Dead is a
great
classic album.
American Beauty. Did you like that
American
one?
Beauty.
Yeah, I like
Those
American
two
Beauty, but
I
like Working
really
Man's
liked a lot.
Yeah.
But my two favorite were Shakedown Street and Terrapin by far.
They had long lost me by then.
It's so funny listening to like their first album from like 1966 or something.
Yeah,
like
those
that.
are a little.
It's a little rough. They haven't
rough.
quite found their sound yet, but it's a nice piece of history.
Pig Ben kicking bottles all around stage. Yeah, it's amazing though. All their success, they had a lot of tragedy too.
Boy, they sure did.
God, to think it'll be 30 years this August since Jerry died.
God, that's incredible.
30 years.
And when I first started here, I bought some Jerry Garcia ties from Bremer's.
I still have
and
one.
they're great ties.
I heard a siren going off.
Yeah, that's right. It's Wednesday. It's they tested first Wednesday.
Okay, God, I thought, am I hearing things? Okay. Oh, there it is. Hear it?
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry you can't hear it on the air, fellas.
It's okay.
So, yeah.
Just take our word for it.
So what were we talking about?
The Grateful Dead, yes. The tragedies.
Oh, well, that's pretty much common with most bands. I mean, when you think about it. I mean, the Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin. I mean, most bands have
Stones,
the Doors.
Brian Jones, yeah.
I mean, most bands have had some type of tragedy, it seems. I mean,
I read an autobiography of a guy that was the road manager for the Stones in 1969, and they basically hung him out to dry when the tragedy at Altamont happened. They left the country without him, and ended up becoming road manager for the Grateful Dead. And so you've got
that's interesting.
It's really the book is really cool, and it talks about the differences between the two bands and how he had to wrangle the Grateful Dead together, and tell him to stop effing with him while he's trying to do his job. Bob Weir was great about saying something stupid at an airport and getting pulled into security and delaying flights and everything like that.
Uh-huh.
And he finally talked Weir into stop doing that. And then they accused him of like skimming off the top, and he quit. So, but yeah, it's called "You Can't Always Get What You Want," and it's by Sam Cutler. He's the guy that did it. If you ever get a chance to read it, it's really
if
good.
I run across it,
Yep.
I would read it.
There you go.
Who did we have on that a couple years ago? Maybe it was COVID, but we interviewed the guy that was a tour manager for. God, I can't even remember who it was, but it was a great interview.
Uh-huh.
And I can't remember either his name or
the band that he was.
But it was fascinating.
It wasn't part of Hawkfanatic, was it?
I think it was actually.
Somebody Gaten's got?
He might have been. Now that you mention it.
Yeah, it's sort of
one of his Yeah, I think it was.
I
vaguely remember that.
Yeah. And it was a fascinating interview, but I
Yeah.
can't remember the guy's name.
Huh.
I mean, Harrison Ford was he was a stagehand for the
Doors. He was
he's a really good carpenter.
Yes.
He used to build stages for the Doors. Think about that.
That's amazing.
What a life
isn't
he's
it?
had. Yeah, think about the life he's had.
Yeah.
Callista Flockhart.
They've been together for years.
Well,
haven't
They really have. They're still married and everything. Yeah.
And he's in his 80s, and I mean, so yeah, I just Fugitive was on yesterday. It's been actually on a couple times, and that's just one of those movies. If it's on, and I happen to stumble upon it, next thing I know, I've spent 45 minutes watching it. It's just one of those that it always sucks me in.
It's my favorite Harrison Ford movie. I
Probably
like I like the Indiana Jones movies
Yeah, I
a
didn't
lot
see
too.
any of
But
I tend to not rewatch movies.
Yeah,
although there have been exceptions like Shawshank Redemption.
That's one that
if I run across that, I'm watching it.
I've got a few. Time to Kill. That's been on a lot recently. That's
Yeah,
a,
that was
that's a
awfully
must
good.
watch. In the Heat of the Night's a must watch if I see it on. So are movies like Platoon and Apocalypse, but you don't see those very often.
No, they don't
you have
pop
to go out
up
of your
very
way to
often.
watch those
Yeah.
now.
Hello.
Witness is another movie by Harrison Ford.
Yes, that's a good one.
That's a great movie.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi there.
Hi.
This is Davenport Connection calling.
Hi, Davenport
I'm
Connection.
wondering, I was just over to the College of Dentistry this week, Joy, and, they've got those dental lots all torn up. And then they're going to start tearing down the speech and hearing clinic.
Right, Wendell Johnson's, yeah.
One. So what does that do to parking for these football games this fall?
Well, it ain't going to help.
Is that going to help?
It
No,
ain't
it's
gonna
not
help.
gonna help. It's gonna make things
You've got to
tougher.
have a better answer than that. I guess my thing is, okay, so just so you know, I'm one of those cheap Hampshire people, right? I park over there. But that has just become a zoo over there because people bring those dang big mini house-sized motorhomes in there, and you take up 10 spots easy, but then they have to take up a spot on each end and across the way so they can have their party. And so unless you're there at 5 in the morning for a 2 o'clock game, you can't find a place to park.
Yeah, it's a problem, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is. It
Wasn't
sure
that-
is.
wasn't
and
that-
I understand that they have to do all of this, and I think Wendell Johnson needs to be replaced. There's no question about that. And rap number one, so old, it's older than I am, and that's saying a lot. And I'm the same age as Steve, so
there you
that
go.
tells you a lot.
Wasn't
So
that
anyway, another thing you were talking about, Callista Flockhart.
Yes.
And Harrison Ford, they used to come to Iowa City a lot because she had an aunt and uncle that lived here.
Oh, what was their last name? Do you know?
I don't remember. I just know that they came, and they loved coming here because nobody bothered them.
Oh, interesting.
Cool.
They came into town, got off at Cedar Rapids, and nobody paid any attention to them. I mean, didn't bother them. They might have recognized them, but they weren't approached typically.
Yeah, I
They
wouldn't know.
really liked coming here for that very reason. They could have a life.
That's cool.
I would know Callista Flockhart if she came up and slapped me in the face.
I would probably do a double take and end up saying it's probably not her.
Yeah, exactly.
What show was she in?
Ally
You
McBeal.
might recognize Harrison Ford, Pat.
I would recognize
Yeah,
Harrison
I would
Ford,
think
yeah,
so.
but I wouldn't go up and oh my God, it's Harrison Ford. But no, I wouldn't recognize the Lista or whatever her first
Yeah.
name is.
Yeah.
I never watched that
Yeah.
show again.
Ally McBeal.
Yeah, I never watched that. I never saw it. Was it?
It was pretty good.
90s,
It was.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
90s.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I was just throwing that out there for all of those.
Okay, but yeah, parking's
Thinking
going to be
about football
an issue, and that's
bated breath,
And isn't that-
we're going to be creative parking this fall.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
And isn't that part of the reason there was talk years ago about moving the stadium way out west?
Yes.
Because the parking was going to get to
Yeah,
the point.
absolutely.
And it is parking's getting to be a major problem.
And
now
you-
this ramp will help, won't it? The one they're building?
Yeah.
A little bit, but not a ton, will it?
It'll help some. But you're tearing down a ramp to put up another
That's
ramp.
what I mean. It's like you're plugging one hole and, interesting.
I mean, it's going to be much more efficient, I think, is what it will be.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Just
It's
something to
probably.
talk about that was Hawk related.
Hey,
Have a great day.
Appreciate the call,
Bye.
Kathy.
But could you have imagined, though, going to like an Iowa football game and it's just you got the stadium right in the middle, and there's just a massive park, like a lot of professionals.
Yeah,
how different that would be.
It would be very different.
But it would also be cool to have, a series of restaurants and bars and stuff around it, kind of like they've done at
They could have done that,
Wrigley.
but they needed to do that 30 years. They needed to do that
But
when
Wrigley's
I moved up.
always been in a neighborhood.
Well, when I moved up here in the early 90s, that was discussed.
Yes, it was.
I remember that was being discussed by the old wise owls and what have you. They need to do this. And they were talking about, it could create its own community. The stadium could be part, and they said have feeder restaurants around it.
Absolutely.
I mean, would you have preferred that over what there is now?
My mom's house was literally across the street from Kinnick, so me personally, no. Because, we parked at my mom's house. You walked a 5-minute walk to Kinnick, if that, and you're there. And we're still...
But do you think right now, though, do you think overall that would have been a better solution for what, compared to the game day situation when it's going to be here in these next few years? As far as just convenience and just...
Kinnick is such a unique experience that I kind of like the different pockets.
I'm with you on that. I'm torn, but I could also see a strong argument for why it would be better.
Yes.
Way out.
If I were coming in from out of town, from,
Spencer. Logistically, of course.
Yes. And do you know how easy, if you get rid of where Kinnick is now, how easily and quickly they would just fill that space up, and you'd never even know it would have been
instantly.
It would be gone instantly.
Yes, it would.
Hello.
Hey guys.
Hey.
That last gal.
Yeah.
Welcome to the corridor.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think it's Kathy. And if Steve's here, he'd play the bit probably. But
yeah. So much construction.
Yep.
Yeah, but you're right
Progress.
about that.
It's progress.
Can't stop it.
Nope.
Well, they call it progress.
They do.
Yep. Beavis said progress
Hey,
sucks.
I lost that American Beauty album somewhere along the line.
That's on you, man.
You can find another one.
They're out there. I bet you can get them on eBay.
Stop at a used record
Craig
store.
Kessler still have his record shop downtown?
No.
Wasn't Record Collector still there?
Yeah,
right?
record. It's still there, but he doesn't own it anymore. I'm not even sure if he's still alive, honestly.
Well, the store is still there.
The store is still there. It's a great store.
Yeah, they have a good selection of vinyl. You probably get a copy of American Beauty in there.
Man, I was out at the Barnes & Noble. They had some vinyl for sale. They ain't cheap.
No.
One of like $39.
Yeah.
For a vinyl, it was the Beatles. It was like $40 almost.
Yeah, some of those that are half speed mastered and deluxe editions and all that. It's.
And I don't have a turntable. Do you still have a turntable? I haven't had a turntable in 40 years.
Well,
you know me, Mr. Technology.
I sort of do. Molly gave me this thing a couple years ago. That's a combination of a CD player, radio, and it can play vinyl as well.
Yeah, I like
like
these.
a Ginsu knife.
I like these millennials that are like, "Hey, I'm into vinyl now," and they're playing stuff on like a $59.99. Something that you wouldn't even get at Sears back when we were kids.
A K-tail.
Yeah, I've got a Panasonic, the consumer version of the ones that they used in radio stations, and it's got the you can calibrate the speed and all that stuff, and still have a receiver for it and speakers and a double CD player and the cassette player, which I don't hardly ever use, but it's still all functioning.
I've got some of that stuff downstairs. There's a receiver. I don't even know how much of it works.
Paul can't get a word in. Poor Paul.
Well,
you have anything you want to say, Paul?
No, you're in the media. You got to talk about something.
Do you have a sound system at home?
Oh, several.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
I think I'm going to crank some tunes today. I'm in the mood to play some music.
By God,
Actually, I'm in the garage cleaning up my garage.
All right. You should have some music cranking in the background.
Well, I'm listening to you knuckleheads.
Well, once we
we all make mistakes, Paul.
Thank you for listening.
Thanks, brother.
See ya.
Adios.
Bye. Yeah, the receiver I got in high school was still working like 30 years later.
Yeah.
I had a pair of speakers left over from my junior high system, and hooked them up in the garage. That was always cool to have, the radio on in the garage like that.
God, if I had such an incredible record collection, and when we went on the road, I stored it in my brother Billy's basement, and they got water in there, and they were all destroyed.
Yeah.
But, man, I had 600 or 700 albums.
Yeah, I still have probably 1,500 or so, and a couple thousand CDs.
Yeah.
I can't stop.
Yeah.
If
I go down,
me. I'm addicted.
If I go down the rabbit hole of rehooking up a good vinyl system and stuff, I'm going to be buying albums.
Yeah.
And it's a rabbit hole that I really kind of don't want to go down. Because
I have no interest in playing vinyl again. I had
my
time
than listening to
But I still have a decent amount of good albums. Like I said, I have Surrealistic Pillow that's never been opened.
That's pretty good.
And it's still in the thick plastic binder. It's never been opened, never been played.
I have a mono copy of that.
So since it hasn't been opened, then it won't be dated.
I wonder
the
what
music won't be dated.
That's
I wonder,
right. It'll
I
be
wonder
new
what
to
you
you.
think it's worth anything?
Oh, of course it is.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, like $10.
It'd be worth more than that if it's never been
You would
opened.
be surprised.
And it's the original label and everything?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, it was purchased years ago.
First issue?
That I don't know. I'll have to go back. It's down in the basement. But yeah, I've got some albums that.
Yeah, I would bet that would be worth $100.
I still have the first album I ever bought. 7 years old.
What was it?
More of the Monkees.
Oh.
Which is probably one of their finest of all their.
Oh, I love
their
the
records.
Monkey. I thought they had some great songs.
It's got "Not Your Stepping Stone" and "I'm a Believer" on it.
They did have some
fantastic songs. Yes,
Just
kind of a poor man's Beatles.
Great, well-written tunes.
And they were. I think that was designed. That was their design.
I'm sure that was part of the
for their TV show was be zany.
Yes, and then they turned out to be halfway decent musicians.
Yeah, and they had great songs.
Yes, and great.
Did they write their own songs?
Some.
At the end, they did.
They did.
But they had Carole King writing songs for them, Neil Diamond.
Yeah.
And, the heavy hitters back in the day writing their songs.
So is your parking going to be impacted, or you still have your place?
No, we park over on Myrtle Avenue. We pay for it, and it's
You pay for each game, or do you get a one-time season fee?
We pay for a season, and then we haul our tailgate stuff over to where we tailgate, which is right where my mom's house used to be.
And how long of a walk is that?
15 minutes.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah,
and after you've been sitting in the stands all day, it's probably good to stretch your legs after the game and everything. So
your mom's house was torn down? Or?
It was. It was in Melrose Place, and there's still a few houses standing. But they tore it down to.
Okay, so how close is it to where the hotel is now?
Across the tracks and down the whole length of Kinnick Stadium.
Okay, so you know where that Stella's is?
Yes.
And you got that little side street there. Is that?
That's where Bucky O'Connor's house was.
Okay. Because I park all the time. That's where I park now. There's free parking. It's one of the hidden gem secrets. I probably shouldn't say it on, but every time I go to press conferences now, instead of paying or work, I just park on the site. It's almost only one time has it been full because Stella's has its own parking and what have you.
They do.
And usually I get over there like at 10:30 on a Tuesday, and there's always, and it's maybe an extra 500-600 steps to get where I need to go, but it's great because you don't find many free parking spaces in Iowa City that are conveniently located. They're just not around.
That is true.
There's just not many of them.
That hotel is pretty cool. My mind doesn't work in those directions whatsoever. I never would have imagined in a billion years you could fit that hotel in that space.
So do you ever see yourself spending the night at that hotel?
It'd be an interesting set of circumstances since I live here, but probably not.
That's what I'm guessing. I'll probably never. I've never even. Have you been in it?
Yeah, we have.
I haven't been in it. What'd you go on a tour or what?
Been there for at least a half dozen events.
For Iowa
fundraisers,
okay.
Or Swarm has events there, and I've been there at a lot of events.
And when you had lunch at Timmy Flynn's all those years, did you ever think that there would be a 6-story apartment building with storefronts in that?
No, and that
thing is
that
massive.
complex is incredibly amazing.
It is,
and it's never going to be finished.
And it's awfully close. And it's close to the street.
Yeah, it is really
it
close.
is.
Boy, the Dairy Queen is licking their lips, waiting for the residents to start moving in there.
Oh,
I'm sure.
man, what a project that is, though. It's been years.
So is that going to be mostly college students?
Weren't
or
they
almost
supposed
I
to
think
be?
so.
Weren't they supposed to be open this fall?
Yeah, it sure doesn't look like it to me.
So
really
with
got a
all
lot of
these
work to
units,
do.
with all these things being built, can we assume there's less college students living in the homes and stuff all over?
We can assume that, yes,
Yeah.
because they're
Something's
going away.
got to be happening
Yeah.
because there's way more places to live like that now than there were even 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hello.
And welcome to Senior Talk, Sylvie.
I'm not putting up with that.
Well,
today.
I'm not quite a senior 65 and up, right?
Yes.
I'm not there yet.
I'm new.
Although AARP, you start getting
I got
stuff
mine at 30.
50. Yeah.
The day you turn 50, it's at your door and it never stops.
Yeah.
I still get it every day. Hey, I have not joined yet.
These-
Are you?
Yeah, but I don't.
These backpacks are worth it alone.
I mean, we're members, but I don't know what it does.
We're just getting isn't Senior Talk every Wednesday?
Senior Talk.
Senior
yes.
Talk will be up afternoon today.
Yeah. Rex does a good job.
He does.
And like I said, I'm looking.
And I hate to say it, but I'm kind of interested most of the time.
Well, because you're a senior.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just that. I mean, for me, new to Iowa City, relatively, I like hearing of the history of what was here before and what people did and stuff.
One of our listeners sent actually a photo of Caitlin and Lucy embracing before the game.
Well, let me see.
It was really cool.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, Lucy looks. Maybe she does look like she might. I don't know. Maybe she was.
Isn't that our truck driver? Isn't Jerry?
Oh, is that Jerry? Is that his
I'm
name?
not
Is it Jerry
positive
Stewart?
about
Is that
the last
same-
name, but I think it might be.
Okay, yeah. Like I said, I don't know. With Twitter, it's
I
hard.
think it is.
It's weird. They know who you are, but seldom do I know who they are. But no, that is cool. That's a neat photo. Prior to the game, and so yeah, if you're an Iowa fan, though, you you had that game circled on your calendar.
Well, that's what I said yesterday on the air. I said, if you're an Iowa fan, this would have been one of the all-time must-see basketball games, and now it's
Yeah.
neither of them played.
I just wonder if there's any that purchased like $600 tickets.
Of course
there were, yeah. Hello.
Yeah, I sent that to you.
Okay, well, thank you. Appreciate
Thanks,
it, Jerry.
Yeah. There's also a video, but it's just a really, really quick hug at midcourt. They're just kind of acknowledging each other. But
that was very nice.
I thought you might be interested.
No, thanks.
In that,
Appreciate it.
Pat,
That's
so
a neat
I
photo.
passed it on to you.
Yeah, they never played together.
Appreciate
I mean,
Nope.
It's easy to kind of forget they never. God, could you imagine if they would have played together?
Lucy is your off guard.
Could you
Lucy is
imagine
your
the
off
points
guard?
they would have put up?
Wow, that would have been a lot of fun.
It would have been fun to see.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just wanted to let you know that. All
right,
my
thanks.
Twitter handle.
All right.
Because I do repost a lot of your stuff, Pat, when you're out
Oh
there.
no, I appreciate it. I just didn't realize that was
There's
you.
a lot of stuff of yours that's really good that I want to
Okay.
make sure everybody gets a chance to read.
All right, appreciate that. Now I can
Well,
put a
hey,
name.
that's the one place I have 1,000 followers. So
All right.
whatever that's worth.
All right.
All right,
Good to
thanks,
know.
Jerry.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thanks again.
Yep. Bye.
So we have no rain today.
No.
Okay,
No
just
more rain.
This is like haze from the wildfires up north.
Yeah.
And there was a little bit of fog earlier this morning. But
I'm hoping by late afternoon it'll be dry enough because I don't want to mow tomorrow because if I don't mow today, it's going to get even worse tomorrow, and then it's just such a pain.
Actually, if we get a little bit of wind, that'll
and it's
sure
picking
help.
up a little bit, so yeah.
Do you have to mow, or did you mow? Right?
I have one of the neighborhood kids mows.
Oh,
for
okay.
me.
Yeah, because I have not mowed for about 5 days, which is long for me. And I think my neighbor has it, and she's more diligent than I am, and I think her grass was even starting to get a little long.
I give him $35 a time, and he started out at $25.
Well-
But he's been there for a number of years.
Yeah.
So did he demand more, or did you just give more?
Well, he had first offered to do it for $20.
Uh-huh.
And I said, I'll tell you what, we'll hire you, but let's do it at $25. And he was a hard negotiator. And said, okay.
Well, if you insist.
And then who took it up to 35?
I did.
Oh, all right.
But he's been doing it for 4 years, I think.
Yeah.
And he does a good job?
I'm not going any farther.
Is your yard big?
No, it's a half acre. The
Okay.
whole house and everything is a half
Okay,
acre.
yeah, I don't know if I could get away with 35 with my back and front.
No, you've got more.
I'd probably have to pay 50, and I don't mind doing it. I mean, there's times where I don't want to mow my yard. It's just because it does take a good hour. I mean, it's just a pain at times. But today I'll get it. I'll try to get it done.
Always looks great when it's done, though.
Boy, it is.
Boy, it does.
So that is just all the Canadian smoke because it's foggy out, man.
Yeah.
Look at that. I didn't realize it was that bad.
Hello.
Yeah, the best game in Iowa history, basketball, downtown Freddie Brown and Rick Mount.
I would agree with you. It's right up there.
They were pumping it in the basket.
Yes, they were.
It was amazing.
Yes, it was. All right. Well, thank you, Paul.
Paul gets a bonus call today. But it wasn't very long.
No.
And it was kind of on
point. It was related.
Yeah. And he knew Captain wasn't here, and he could exploit that, and he did. And good for Paul. Yeah, I was not old enough to remember that game.
He requested Ripple Sunday when he called in.
That's not one of my favorite Dead songs. You can do better, Paul, if you're listening still. That's not one of my favorite.
Well,
I
Broke Down Palace.
I don't like that one much.
I partnered it with Spill the Wine and made a little grape celebration set.
Good call.
Thank you very
much.
Good call.
So I'm trying to think. Anything else?
Anything
else? There hasn't been anything to begin with.
There's a swimmer competing in a thing in Kansas City tomorrow or something like that. Good luck to her.
Yeah, Emily Swally. I mean, she was our athlete of the week earlier this year. So good luck to her.
Tommy found it, and it's like going to be on one of the NBC
but
networks.
And other than the athletes going to track and field, that is it.
Yeah.
This sports calendar year
is going
on. And then Dallas is going to be accompanying his brother Darian on his official visit to Iowa State this weekend.
Oh.
So that'll be interesting. And then Darian, his visit to Iowa is going to be June 20th through the 22nd. That's his last of 5 officials. I think it's going to come down to Iowa and Minnesota. That's my prediction.
All right,
and I
hope we get him.
Hopefully Iowa gets him, but he's also got to do what's in his best interest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to see him become a Hawkeye. Did someone just call and hang up?
They did. They had no patience for us.
All right. Well,
that means it was a bit, and it probably wasn't that funny anyway. Is my guess. So you and Tommy doing some police reports?
We certainly are.
All right. Well, let's get to it. Thank you, Pat. Hawkfanatic.com. Check it out. It's free.
Do you have an important event